Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It is against 11, 1 hour and 40 minutes. Next game coming up, against
Welcome back to the ATA YouTube channel. This is day number 3 of 3 where we are having this ATA Super 8-man and 8-man all Ugandan Cup here at Addis Sport, one of the most popular pool playing avenues in the country. This match is a semi-final in the losers category of the competition that is being played on double elimination basis. Two players quite friendly with each other, teammates at club and management level, both managed by Roxbury, both players under Roxbury Pool Club, both players of the national team. Two players that mime well alongside each other, but two players that do like to take on each other, giving each other a bloody nose every time out that they get to face off. Ibrahim Ssejjemba donning white, Joseph Kasozi donning largely yellow, racing to 8 in 80 minutes here on center table. The winner does qualify into the losers bracket final, which shall be played between whoever wins this match and the loser of the winners bracket final. That is coming up between Hazard Lukoma and Caesar Chandega. That one will be a mouthful. Whoever loses this match will be out of the competition, but at least already in the prize bracket, because it is 8 men and 8 ladies that are shooting themselves into the prizes. This one will be the second last competition in terms of preparation for these players for the Ultimate Pool Championships coming up in Mbombela, South Africa next week. The team is supposed to move out of the country to check out of Entebbe International Airport this coming Saturday evening. Perhaps the wee hours of Sunday morning, they are expected at the Oliver Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg, and then embark on a close to 400-kilometer trip from Johannesburg to Mbombela in Mpumalanga, where they'll be having the Ultimate Pool Championship starting next Monday 13th up to the end of the week on the 18th of October. To present to you this commentary, my name is Simon Peter Chowe. One frame has been played and has been won by the sharpshooter. Our umpire is Henry Joko. He calls himself Priest. In my local lingua, we say Omulangira. It means a prince, not exactly son of the king, but someone from that group of people who call themselves lawyers. They can mean to be proud of what they are. Joseph Kasozi will be proud of the fact that he's leading against Ibra, and will want to win frame number 2 with his current visit of the table. This one is the harder of the 3 yellows he has on the table, and there he comes to miss. Race to 8 in 80 minutes to reach this level. Ibrahim Ssejjemba did defeat Ibrahim Kayanja yesterday evening by 8 frames to 6. Just after Joseph Kasozi had defeated Ian Kazibwe by 8 frames to 5. Again, in the first round of the losers category, both of these players have already lost at least a match in this competition. Ibra being subjected into the losers bracket after defeat against Caesar in one of the best performances I have ever seen in Ultimate Pool by any Ugandan player. That level of play from Caesar was nothing short of world class, and I'm loving it for the fact that these players are now starting to get accustomed to the international rules that are being used in Ultimate Pool. Tomorrow it will be a 24-man comp at Roxbury, also Ultimate rules. There will also be 8 ladies. The 8 will be the 8 females that have been participating in this comp. All of them 8 men, but plus 16 others. It could be less than 24. It will be a one-day comp with the winner taking $300 registering virtually free cash prizes for 4. There comes Joseph Kasozi. His intention was to play yellow off cushion and off red, try and put it, which didn't come to pass. Now a chance for Ibra to pounce. Remember, he is trailing. Last time out that these two faced off was exactly 3 days ago. Sunday, just ended week. They faced off in the second live semifinals of that 16-man comp that was organized at Kamba Sports Arena. Closely contested match that was won by Joseph Kasozi by 7 frames to 6. The killer is shooting the sharpshooter in frame number 2. It is 1-1 in a race to 8. We're supposed to be having our time left running. I like to beg your pardon, guys. The race is not 8, it is 11 in 110 minutes. I want to beg your pardon once again. It is not race to 8, it is race to 11 in 110 minutes. As we speak, we are having just over 90 minutes left to play. The races are getting longer, the matches are getting tenser, the competition is getting stiffer. There has been a foul, seemingly as judged by umpire Henry Joko. You may have to play your video a little bit backwards. I didn't notice where it came from. Perhaps there is. Now I have seen from the replay. Just play the video a little bit backwards. You see that Ibra did have a kiss between cue ball and tip of his cue stick, not intentionally. That's why Joseph Kasozi did have the cue ball in hand. In the end, it was some kind of loss of turn by Ibra. Keep your fingers crossed for the All Sisters winners bracket final in the ladies category. Rashida Motesi versus Rukia Naiga. In the ladies games, it doesn't get more competitive than that. And then the winners bracket final in the men's category between Hazard and Caesar. The loser of this match will be dropping out of the competition, out of contention for the top 3 places. The loser actually will be confirmed in position number 4. The winner will still have to tussle it out with Caesar and Hazard to compete for positions number 1, 2, and 3. But the player from the losers bracket still has more work cut out, more work to do than the guys that are at the winner's side of the draw. In the ladies category, the first 3 positions will be taken by Rashida, Rukia, and Amina Faith Nganda in whatever order. Zaimat has dropped out of the competition. She is confirmed in position number 4. Kasozi could get himself the lead, try and maintain a place in the competition, try and defeat Ibra for the second time in succession. It doesn't happen all that often. Defeating a player like Ibra twice in succession in just 3 days, but Kasozi could be on the verge of doing this as long as he aims, as long as he keeps shooting with this kind of accuracy, as long as he remains potting black with very good prowess and good control of the cue ball, leaving the cue ball as safe as it is on the bed of the table. The frame is won by the sharpshooter. It is now Joseph Kasozi 2 and Ibrahim Ssejjemba 1 with 87 minutes left on the clock. There comes the clearance of the killer. He's proving many of you guys wrong, eh? There's this kind of misjudgment that is gotten on him, saying that he cannot play fast and everything, but believe you me, this is the ultimate pool. 40 seconds per shot to be taken. He has only committed one time foul in the course of this tournament, and this is the third match that he's playing, and is leading against a known faster player than himself. Now 2-1, Ibra up. The pair of players involved in the next match have already confirmed their arrival at the venue. That is the sister pair of Rukia and Rashida. They came just around the same time, but they didn't come together whatsoever. Before and after matches, they are not friends. But for now, Ibra will not be a friend of Joseph Kasozi because of stuff going on now. A double elimination competition turns into a straight knockout when it's in the losers bracket. So this match is a straight knockout between Ibra and Kasozi. And now that they are drawing 2-all, it can be anybody's game. Now Ibra attempting bank shot, the corner pocket bottom right from this angle. Goes for the center pocket at the bottom and doesn't get in. And perhaps he will be in the know. That's more likely than not. This frame will now be won by Joseph. Here he goes. And goes defensive. From this angle, we can now see that Ibra is totally snookered off the cushion and instead puts Joseph Kasozi's red and the cue ball. Now, in that case, the opponent, who in this case is Joseph Kasozi, will have the cue ball in hand with the liberty to place it anywhere on the bed of the table, but with one visit. Four reds to go for the sharpshooter. He probably didn't want to play one red into another. It does happen, his pattern. He now has to play connection, perhaps play safety. He doesn't put. His shot isn't safe enough because Ibra has little sight of his yellow. Just little. And we're probably playing it with power. Oops, he's going for some safety here. He wants to hide white behind black. That one would have been something if you were able to snooker all four reds using just the black, and yet they are distant from each other. It looks like a snooker, though not a total snooker. Joseph Kasozi is going for the red at the corner pocket bottom right and finds it and puts it and recovers and fully recovers. Now aiming for the long range shot, which shall probably have some defense in it. He goes for defense and just defense, though he seems not to be sure that he is snookered. He's nodding his head in disbelief that he seems to have granted the cue ball away to Ibra. I like to call it as a gift. Not only does he have sight, he has sight enough to have the cut of the yellow to the corner pocket now, bottom right. Roll the cue ball around the black to try put both balls to the same corner pocket, and has done exactly so. A frame in which Kasozi got all the opportunities to go for the frame by offense, deciding to play three defense shots. That all came futile and didn't pay off. The frame has been won by the killer. It is now Ibra 3 and Kasozi 2. Here comes Joseph breaking frame number 6. He'll want to break big. Yes, he does get a yellow sunk and another. I'm making 2 yellows on the break. Going for yellows would be kind of suspect, because there is a red that is occupying the corner pocket bottom right. He's probably going for the reds, trying to put one with sharp cut to the center pocket on the left and gets it in. And with that kind of shooting, he will want to finish the frame off with his current visit of the table. There he goes. His shot lacked just a little bit of power. Of the two players, it has been Ibra so far in the competition who has been demonstrating that he can, in cases, play the rules in his favor. Now he's playing what you would call an intentional foul, playing a yellow into a red, making a pot. It's a foul, but not a standard foul, just a loss of turn. And Kasozi can only play the cue ball in its position, cannot lift it away, cannot have the cue ball in hand. He's having this bridge in which he as well does exactly what Ibra has just done. I'm liking the tactical play here. It was intentional for Joseph Kasozi to spin the cue ball backwards, put Ibra's yellow, and Ibra can as well play the cue ball only in its position, snookered or not. And what can Ibra do with this kind of situation? His intention was perhaps to ride the yellow towards the corner pocket top right, which didn't come through, as Joseph Kasozi playing reds does get an opportunity to go for this one again. Don't take serious the camera images that you are watching now. That one is not the player. And that one is a different person. Oops. In that situation, Kasozi should have avoided contact between white and yellow. The realistic opportunity is to cut red to the corner pocket bottom right. Just like that. Not really. He potted the wrong ball and has played his red dead. That was a little bit complacent from Kasozi. Perhaps he rushed into the shot. And there was enough space for him to pass his red. And yet now he's just about to lose the frame. Here comes the little magician. A dice lounge. Sorry. We're at Adi's spot, which is not exactly a good hunting ground for Ibra. He's fighting back from the losers category to try and book a spot into the main category. He has won a second consecutive frame in no match time taken. It is now Ibra leading by 4 frames to 2 with 1 hour and 9 minutes to go. That was the site of Naiga Rukia, who is already at the venue, waiting to take her sister on in the winners bracket final. That is the match about to come to your screen just after the end of this one. I believe that you are watching and enjoying the 360-degree coverage of the communication. Top class stream, top class match, top class rules, top class preparation for the Ultimate Pool Championships starting on Monday. That is the African Championships. That is Rashida Motesi having a snack or two, preparing to take on her sister. But this is Joseph Kasozi trying to come back against Ibra. And if he doesn't win this frame, you start to think that he may not have too much business in this match. Now, he's on the black at a kind of range he will put with relative ease. Of course, it was always going to be sunk. It is now 4 frames to 3. Ibra still in the lead. I also love the playing speed, not just the eating speed of the next player, because they still have the whole of 1 hour and 6 minutes, and yet they have already gotten 7 frames out of the way. Once again, it is 3 for Kasozi and 4 for Ibra in this Roxbury derby. These guys have really mastered the art of breaking. Eh? Most of the time the break has been good. I like the breaking skills in this competition, breaking levels. Perhaps they realize that you have to hit the balls with a lot of power to achieve the 3 points you must earn on the break, or else it does become a foul on the break. That is either 3 balls potted or 3 balls crossing the middle of the table. Each ball crossing earns a point, each ball potted earns a point. So it can be either 2 balls potted and 1 crossing, or 1 potted, 2 crossing, vice versa, as long as it is 3 points. But it is 3 frames won by Kasozi so far in the match. This one could be a 4th, looking every step of the way like it could. He seems to be a little bit out of sorts, not so certain which ball to start with, because each one he will start with does give him some kind of level of difficulty. It's now 4 seconds to go. He has been granted 1 extension that they all can get every once in each frame. That extension is not more than 10 seconds. How good will this shot be? Cue ball being played with top spin. I wouldn't say that I'm very certain it was the right shot to play, because now he's subjecting himself to playing combination shot, put both red and yellow to the same corner pocket. If he did, white ball will be natural for the black. It is a foul. Maybe what we'll be having in his favor is the fact that his ball remains packed at the corner pocket, bottom left, sorry. And yet Ibra can only play the cue ball in its position. He was always going to play safety, Ibra. Daring Joseph Kasozi to committing 1 foul. There comes the cue ball off the cushion. It is a foul. Now in this case, Ibra is free to play from the position of the cue ball. He is also free to ask for the umpire for the cue ball and then place it anywhere on the pool table, as in anywhere. The way he's stancing, he probably intends to play another snooker. Yes, he plays another snooker. And leaves the cue ball just around the same area he left it last time out that he played. Of course, realizing that Joseph Kasozi found difficult in finding the angle. This time round, he may find it. Yes, he does find it. And has sight of the black. I'm not certain it is sight enough to put it to the center pocket from this angle. Probably, yes. The mission is to play the black with the aim to put it and goal to win the frame and equalize in the match, and yet it is a miss. Surely, the frame is being won by the killer, utilizing the fact that Kasozi was the first out of the box, going for the frame, intending to win it by break and finish, coming short along the way. When Kasozi failed to pot the black, Ibra played 2 defense shots, which are now paying off because he's on the verge of winning the frame as long as he can pot yellow to the corner pocket top left. Cue ball bouncing off the cushion on the right. Now with the left spin on it, it should be the intention of 2 cushions. Wonderful. And the frame is gone from Kasozi. It is just under 1 hour left on the clock. It is now Kasozi leading by 2 frames because he has 5 while Kasozi has 3, racing to 11. This is the break of frame number 9. He's now aiming for the second ball. He's been that one player, Ibra, that has always broken the pyramid style, hitting the top ball. One of those few times that I am seeing him revise his break, and it is paying off looking at how good the balls are split, all scattered throughout the table, almost equally, and most of them have been split towards the top end of the table. That means the break was so effective, and for the fact that he has gotten to pot a ball, there is a very good chance he could win the frame by break and finish. He has rightly decided to go for the yellows. Potting, yes. Maintaining cue ball for another yellow, yes. Now there are 2 yellows that are at the top right end of the table. Those ones will be the ones that he will be wary of. The other 2, pretty much potable with too much ease. Actually, it were the other 3. He has played the cue ball into a red, created space between red and yellow, but he can now pot perhaps by playing 1 yellow into the other to try and pot the yellow that is near the center pocket on the right, and yet it is a miss. He did not make sure. He lost it a little bit when he was playing yellow. He was playing cue ball into the red. Maybe not the best way it was to try and split the frame open. Here Kasozi will want to pot and then play the cue ball with the backspin into maybe another red. Maybe he's instead deciding to opt for a different shot. a different pattern. There is chance to put red and yellow by combination. Now the corner pocket bottom left. The combination is successful. The pocket is open with Joseph Kasozi having chance to go for the frame now with his current visit of the table. I like it how players are punishing each other every time they are. Some of these misses, it's a little bit tricky for Kasozi not just to put but also maintain cue ball. He may have to play the cue ball with power, move it towards the right end of the table, bounce off the cushion with power, move it leftwards. I believe not only has he thought it well, he has also executed it even better. And as long as he's spotting the red now, the rest will be a formality. Here is the sharpshooter shooting the black sharp and pulls one frame back. After 9 frames, it's now Kasozi 4 and Ibra 5. Jacinta Kajibi at the venue. Yeah, I'm a buff. On a mask. Never mind, because I'm now with you. I let that. Nzo kuba nzito wangu ku net katizi. Nze ngamba kwa kizanyo.
Era sekusobola. Mpaayo mmeka ku musango n'obugana nate.
Kamu.
Si tuba tuwadde.
Iyi mulina zanya fuluke mwala na
Okoye. Oyigira ddala olumu.
kale gwe mu
Akubisa ku musango n'obugana nate. Kyo bakuwa ne dro back amusubire. Customer wapate yawona. Nsiyo nyankuwadde ne bato y'emitwalo esatu. Yazanya emitwalo ya dola bisatu. Naye simulya. Yemu akawale. Naye ng'akola nnyo. In fact yasinga olukola wa. Eyinamira ffeeyi. Bagenda kuteega kati.
Hello. One. Kisajja kyasomye. Nencha. Omugenzi ankubira.
yo
Obedda bankubira. Nabalabedda. Of all of them 10 frames that have been played in this match, the 10th has been the longest in terms of the amount of time it has taken, and for Joseph Kasozi it has been a very worth the fight. He has gotten himself back into meaningful business, equalizing and now making it a race to 6 for a place into the main event semis. The winner will have the loser of the match between Caesar and Hazard awaiting them again to play off to see if they can make it into the grand final. Between Caesar and Hazard, the winner shall be playing the grand final coming up later tonight, and then the loser shall be tussling out with the winner of this match to see who they will be, to see if they can make it back into the grand final. Now here comes Ibra on the break. A match that has been played a lot in the mind as much as it has been played in the hands. That is our break. A foul on the break it is from Ibra. getting to scratch, getting to put the cue ball, getting to grant Kasozi chance to lead for the first time in quite a long while in the match. Perhaps the last time Kasozi was leading was when the match was at 1 frame to nil, just after 1 frame. That's the last that we saw him leading. Since then, he has been the guy that has been chasing the match, and how good he has won the last 2 frames, making sure that the scores are now at par, and yet he has a chance, if he can finish this ongoing frame, with what will be a reverse dish. And that one will be a painful miss. His face says it all. There has been one extension granted to Ibra here. It becomes even harder to finish a frame like this one in ultimate pool rules than it is in, say, black ball or 8 ball. Oops. It was some kind of powerful shot, though it lacked a little bit of energy. His intention, you just come to realize, was to play the cue ball into perhaps one of the reds, play it away. And then he decides that he can only recover by bank. Could put the cue ball here, and the cue ball will be safe. Maybe the shot will be not that bad at the end of the day. For Kasozi, you get a feeling he may want to try out a sharp cut of yellow to the center pocket, may be difficult, and plays it inside with connection. Connection that hasn't really come successful. What is successful is the fact that he has not granted the cue ball cheaply away. That was quite unfortunate. The shot that was supposed to win him the frame is the same shot that has lost him the frame. Black has been potted prematurely. It will feel painful, but it is, yes, a painful reality for the killer, who now is trailing in the match for the first time in a long while. After 11 frames, it is Kasozi now leading by 6 frames to 5, as though Ibra may be asking for some kind of timeout from the umpire, which the umpire does grant for 3 minutes for the players to go take a breather, perhaps to talk to their management, perhaps to think of what they can do better. The match shall be continuing in 3 minutes after and as well commentaries shall be resuming there after. For now, it is Ibra 5 and Kasozi 6.
Atuziza meeting. Ye chowe kulongo. Akuwa omungwa. Mujeke kajira anyumiza abantu. Ibra fine zaji.
Network.
YouTube beta. Kuzina mwana. Bizeta chigasa. Tisobola.
Joseph Kasozi 7, Ibra 5, rest 11, 36 minutes remaining.
By 7 frames to 5, Joseph Kasozi leads against Ibrahim Ssejjemba, racing to 11. It's just under 36 minutes left on the clock. And just the same time, Joseph Kasozi does get to miss a ball. It's a very critical time in the match. You just believe that Ibra must start fighting. I just have a feeling if it gets to 15 minutes left to play, if Ibra is not leading, or at least if he's not drawing, his match will probably pretty much be done. You don't see him defeating Kasozi when amount of time allocated between shots is 20 seconds. That's why he must act, and must act now. The action I'm talking about is winning frames. Once again, we shall have Rashida versus Rukia in an all sisters winners final coming live next. Action climaxing tonight with what will be the grand final in the men's category. The player that wins the match that is coming up next in the men's event just around 3 p.m. will be having 2 lives in the final. The loser between Hazard and Caesar shall be taking on the winner of this match, perhaps Kasozi. And then whoever wins will again be facing the winner of the winner's bracket, and the player who will have come from the winner's bracket will be having 2 lives in the final. Now, to maintain his status in the competition, to try and fight to justify him ranked first by the Pool Association of Uganda, Joseph Kasozi is on the verge of grabbing a 3-frame lead against Ibra. Needing to put red to the corner pocket top right, white ball bouncing off the cushion. He wants to put both red and black to the same corner pocket. The cue ball has been played beautifully, and the sharpshooter puts black for the 8th time in the match. He's now an overwhelming favorite for the victory in this match. Joseph Kasozi 8 and Ibrahim Ssejjemba 5.
Today is a bad day. I don't know what to do. Choka wa mjengi wa.
I also believe that whoever loses will be supporting the winner in the rest of the competition. There's one player in the winners category whom both of these guys like to beat so much. As the break by Joseph Kasozi in frame number 14 is dry. Of course, Ibra will want to go for the reds. No single dead red on the table. No ball needed to be protected by connection. No ball frozen against the cushion. It's just a frame he should take away. And then try to win another and another. If he loses this ongoing frame, not only because of how good the reds are positioned, but also the meaning of it in terms of the scores vis-a-vis the remaining time. If he doesn't win this frame, he should consider himself an exiting player from the comp itself. He's still okay. He must not lose his rhythm. He's utilizing the 40 seconds he has before each shot, and so far has been doing it quite neatly. And I want to believe that he will want to put now a red to the center pocket. Perhaps the second red to the corner pocket now, top right. But also that's a little bit suspect because there's a little bit of a cut between red and white. That's why he went instead for the last red to the same center pocket. He has just spotted the previous black, perhaps to the corner pocket now, top left. And as Kasozi broke frame number 16 right, it was always likely that Ibra will be pouncing, and yes, he has pounced by winning on a reverse dish. He pulls one back, 6 for Ibra and 8 for Kasozi. We're at Adi's spot just after Shell fuel station in Chireka Trading Center, Kampala City. Just in case you are in and around the place, feel free to come and access the venue simply by buying a drink of your choice, soft or hard. Playing on the red carpet can mean to fetch pressure. It breeds both comfort and pressure. Frame number 15 being broken by the killer. How good will the frame be? He must make a ball. He must have a good split of the balls. He must keep the cue ball on the table. He has achieved all. Another relatively good break. Relative is as well relative. And they're just those two tricky balls, red and yellow, so close to each other. The top right end of the table, also so close to the cushion. And the killer does go for the reds and does close the table. He now has 6 reds on the table, 5 of them positioned quite well, 1 of them not so much. That's why he's playing the cue ball into it. And that's why he has split it open. That's why he has a chance to make the clearance of the frame, which will be a second consecutive with 1 visit of the table, red and green up respectively. That is only if he finishes off this ongoing frame. More likely than not, he will be finishing the frame. Surely he will. Maybe the comeback is on. The more he wins the frame, perhaps and another, the more pressure mounts onto Kasozi, the more confident that Ibra becomes. With now aim to pot black to the corner pocket top left for him to come within one frame of Kasozi. Very serious. He aims and shoots and pots. Not a pot it is. I will perhaps be guilty for calling it so soon. Maybe it is the nerves. The table is neat and clean and balanced. He had all the time, he had all the space. If he loses the frame, he will be as guilty can be. The shot was effective as effective can be, though he hasn't potted. He won't be disappointed in himself. Not only has he occupied the corner pocket where Ibra has his black with his own yellow, he has also snookered his opponent. If Ibra does miss the black entirely, Kasozi will be having cue ball in hand. You would think that the better shot from an Ibra perspective is to try the best not to foul, at least to find the black. Perhaps play the black. It would still be okay if white ball is played into the black and pots the yellow, because Kasozi will have no option of lifting the cue ball. It's what Ibra was intending, but he hasn't gotten it right. Now it can't get any worse because Kasozi does have the cue ball in hand and can place it anywhere along the table bed. The frame is gone away from Ibra, as his teammate is starting to make it look light. Ibra will be guilty of winning this frame after clumsily missing the black. Kasozi will not mind. He takes the opportunity and grabs back his 3-frame lead, now needing to win 2, while Ibra does need to win 5 out of the remaining 6. Joseph Kasozi 9 and Ibrahim Ssejjemba 6, and with 24 minutes to go. .22 minutes is exactly the amount of time that Ibra has to win 3 frames before Kasozi can win 1. It's a match that you think Ibra is playing a losing battle. It will clearly get into the last 15 minutes of the match with the faster player in the lead. It will take some kind of magic for Ibra to win the match. That's why he's playing under pressure and missing shots now under pressure. And the weight of the sharpshooter in the lead, needing to win just 2, which are pretty much within his grasp. And perhaps this one could be one of them. Ibra is not calm enough even to sit as Kasozi plays.
byanga byawedde nawo bansonga lwaki muzannya wena muba muzinga eki
The guy is queuing quite seriously. He is meaning business. He's on the verge of taking down Ibra for the second consecutive time in the space of just 3 days. Last time being just last Sunday when they faced off in the second live final at the 16-man cup that was organized at Kamba Sports Arena. How good will the aim of the last yellow be? It's pretty much on target, keyboard being played into the black with a little bit too much power than he fathomed. Now the better way to recover perhaps is to try and bank the black to the center pocket at the bottom direct or off the red. He goes inside for the snooker. And not only to give him a chance to win, but also to shake off a few more seconds because the clock is ticking against his opponent. Ibra will want to find one of his reds with intention to pot. He has not potted. I also doubt he has snookered. Joseph has little sight of the black. He could foul. Maybe he didn't even mind fouling because he seemed to be playing with strength enough as though he didn't care fouling. But then Ibra will perhaps be playing the red close to the black for a free shot. Try put it to the corner pocket bottom left, which he will surely do, and will surely be finishing off the frame and will come within 2 frames of Kasozi. Red to the center pocket left, black to the corner pocket top left for the killer to come within 2 frames. This is where the frame he lost last, a little bit complacently, will be quite painful because if he had won it, this one would be an equalizing frame. Now it is back to him within 2 frames. It is 9-7. Kasozi in the lead, 17 minutes to go. There is a 3-minute timeout for Kasozi Joseph. The stopwatch will be stopped. The clock will be stopped. It is becoming tense and tight. Kasozi can utilize his timeout to come and win the first frame after timing, it will be Ibra pretty much confirmed finished. Not only because of the scoreboard, but also the remaining time and the rules by which after one more frame, it will be 20 seconds between shots.
After we have still the winner of Kasozi playing against the loser between Caesar and Hazard. Later in the day we have the ladies final, then the men's final. Full achari mu byakandi mu practice. Endewa nyakujja mbyeyi bitto yanzize entuula gye mutuulamu. Mulagire ddala nti entuula yammwe ya njawulo. Mwebale nnyo bassebo. And by the way, in case the time elapses, when a friend, for example, is taken, speed pool, 6 balls.
Final kasale. Final fire afa. Kube break and finish it yulire.
Nega short yemba solokweda dakika mukaga ne wetolole mmere.
Bannange.
Twala obudde bwe. Ujawulira n'akabumbi. Bena uli akavuma ekati. Wetegereza.
Wamma kakyuka nakawuliddeko ejjo.
Asitapu kawulira.
Abudde bugenze bukedde. Naye baffe ejjo wanteeseza ne anka. Mwezi 2 baadde bafu. Akantu kabaka.
Vai. Genda mu ntebe ya
Yani bamujjejo nasajjala bamusajja. Ntebe takyakatuusa.
ayita wuntebe bwawe. Wambala.
Wabadde obalaba tournament. Tugala tournament yeri. Yaje
Ne moto basasimako ekituufu. Wote tunayingira mu.
just yawe tournament werabidde eyalapa nejakuba mafia.
Yali ya 16. Kolomongo kali ya.
Tajukira nekiseera kuba sizania. Siba sente mafia mwaka gwa.
Oli mutuufu.
Yes, nada inayingira mu mwezi za mwenenzikira bajja kunjasamira awo.
Why biko?
Why biko? Ngaka lesonyiwe.
Now, when you're a player, it doesn't get any worse than you asking for timeout, and right after timing, your opponent wins a frame by Apple. We have a game on our hands. What will not be probably in Ibra's favor is that now the time call has changed to 20 seconds per shot, because now it is 15 minutes, perhaps a little less, left on the clock. Ibrahim Ssejjemba 8 and Joseph Kasozi 9. It is now not about who is shooting better, it's about who is utilizing 20 seconds better than the opponent. One extension, which remains at 10 seconds, but only one per frame. So now, as a player, you must be able to think and execute well in very little time. There is again a scratch on the break by Joseph Kasozi. Ibra doesn't have too much time to inspect and think. He simply has to be playing every time that he visits the table. It's now 7 seconds to go. The table remains open. You can see now 5. He's closed the table playing the reds. And no time to blink. No time to overthink. Thinking must be fast. 5 seconds to go, just like that. He just played with 1 second to go, both of the previous frames, but again under a ticking clock, he wasn't able to maneuver the cue ball as good as he would have. And the clock is ticking again. He's nodding his head in disbelief. Now 5 seconds to go. 3 shots now that he has played with 1 second left on the ticking clock. It is now ticking against Joseph Kasozi. Under pressure, but now this is where ultimate pool becomes very entertaining for the fans, because shots are played with breakneck speed. You can see how fast Kasozi is moving around the table. He's clearly the faster player. He's demonstrating that he can play a shot after another without allowing the beeping clock to count down from 5 to 1 second left of play. They are shooting out a very critical frame. If Kasozi wins it, it will be very unlikely that he will be defeated. Ibra, if Ibra wins it, it will be game on once again. He needs to have this one on target. I'm not so certain there is clear passage to the corner pocket. From this angle, we can see that it can. And cue ball is maintained even better. Another shot that has to be played with backspin. He wants to put black to the same corner pocket he putted the previous yellow, demonstrating he is the more fast player. He can combine speed with accuracy way better than his opponent, and is back in with a 2-frame lead. Kasozi 10 and Ibra 8.
Ssejjemba 8, ladies and gentlemen, 10 minutes remaining. And remember, it is now 20 seconds per shot.
Every time the clock is ticking, it is against Ibra Ssejjemba. The nod of his head, the scratch of his head is testament of what exactly is going on in his mind. Taking on a much faster player who is having the scores on his side, who is also having the running time on his side. Joseph Kasozi now needing to put 4 yellows, which if he does, will need to put black for him to confirm himself as a victor in this match. More likely than not, he will be winning the match and win it with his current visit of the table. Cue ball is so close to the red, perhaps touching it, has to avoid any contact between Q and red, which he does avoid, and shoots the yellow on target. The rest will be him needing to roll the last yellow to the corner pocket top right, cue ball top left, corner pocket, cue ball bouncing off the cushion, pinpoint accuracy. And with this kind of cue ball for the black, you can say that Ibra is as good as gone. The match has been won by Joseph Kasozi. Ibra does congratulate him. It has been a very deserved victory for Joseph Kasozi, being the more accurate player, the more consistent player, the more versatile player, being able to put with speed, with accuracy, with confidence, and having less unforced errors throughout the course of the match. He will be awaiting the loser between Caesar and Hazard. For now, final score Kasozi 11 and Ibra 8.
kati bwe ziba nnafu nze nkola ki